This video is all about painting a cool landscape environment from scratch. You'll see all the main steps, so stay tuned till the end to check out the final result, as well as a bunch of tips on how you can improve your digital painting. My name is Victor, I work as a concept artist, so let's get started with the process. In most cases, I don't like to start on a plain white canvas. Instead, I lay down a warm tone just to break the blank space and get things going. So the next step is figuring out your composition. I usually prefer to work with a very simple line work sketch in the beginning. Sometimes I block out shapes and look for interesting silhouettes, but more often than not, it's simpler and faster to sketch things out with line work for me. That helps me place the major elements and most importantly decide where my focal point is going to be. In this case, we're looking at the castle in the middle ground, so I'm sketching out the rough placement, the shapes of the towers and the overall structure. Here's something important to keep in mind. The mood and the shape language should always kind of match. If you're designing a dangerous, let's say spiky castle, your color scheme and lighting should reflect that. Maybe darker, more dramatic, moodier. If your scene is bright and cheerful, a sinister castle just won't fit. Everything should work together to send a consistent message to the viewer. That includes the composition, lighting and design language. Now, to finish this initial stage, I'm dropping in a few small figures in the foreground. This helps with storytelling and gives a sense of scale as well. Once that's done, it's time to figure out the lighting and atmosphere. Again, it's very important to use reference images. They're incredibly useful. For this scene, for example, going for a cheerful autumn type of setting, that means we're looking at blue skies, some white clouds, and overall some warm tones coming from the sunlight. Normally, you can start from the background and work your way forward. For the ground plane, for example, you can grab any of your favorite texture brushes and just lay down some flat color for now. At this stage, you can also refine the design of the castle a bit. I duplicate some shapes and layer them in the background to create some depth. And when I'm moving to the trees, I start with a very basic brown hue. I also set up the lighting to make the foreground a little bit darker. It's like we're standing at the edge of a forest looking down at a sunlit valley where the castle sits. Now, here's a workflow tip. When you're shading objects like the castle, clip your shadow layers on top of your main layer. Most digital painting apps support this, and it helps you think and it helps you keep things tidy. Now, I'm building the form of my object by showing the areas that fall into shadow, and my light source is coming from the upper left. So maybe something interesting for ground. I'm thinking of adding brighter yellow-green tones around the focal point. Everything else will stay cooler and darker to help draw the viewer's eye towards the center. Now let's add a bit of vegetation, bushes and clusters of trees, things like that. I'm careful not to make them look too random or patchy. That's also quite important in terms of composition. Sometimes it's better to connect smaller shapes into larger ones instead of having like this patchy, noisy pattern everywhere. This overall avoids that spotty feeling that can mess up your composition a little. Alright, let's talk a little bit about texture. For the tree bark, I use a brush that mimics rough surfaces. I also add some texture to the ground. Now, since it's autumn, might be a good idea to show dry yellow leaves scattered everywhere as well. Now, back to the castle, it's time to add a bit more detail. Those first shadows were just the beginning. I start defining windows, ledges, and any elements that would cast additional shadows. This is when you describe the form clearly, how the castle is built and how it interacts with the light. And I'm usually referencing real-world castle photos I gathered before starting this piece. Once the design feels solid, you can begin refining the color and texture. So for now I'm working in mid-tones, adding variation to make the surface feel like rough stone. I also use color shifts to imply different materials, maybe a darker rock near the base, a lighter stone at the top, something like that could work. Now that the composition, the mood and values are locked in, you can focus on the fun stuff like some details and polishing. Let's try out some roof colors. Instead of the usual red or brown, let's try something light, bluish purple hue, something a bit more playful. It actually fits the overall vibe pretty well. Also, maybe you can break up a few edges of the castle to suggest age and wear. Okay, now let's check the foreground. It still lacks density, so maybe try grabbing a custom brush that paints branches, like decals, and scatter them throughout. You can add a bit more natural chaos and make the forest look more believable overall. But just be careful not to overdo it. Too much detail in a certain area can throw off the visual balance. A few more brush strokes for the trees, and also adding one or two characters in the foreground looking at the castle. So for a bit more storytelling. Initially I considered placing more figures, but that would compete with the focal point, I believe. So the castle needs to remain the center of attention. I continue refining the foliage in the middle ground. It's also a good moment to start managing edges. Soften them where the values are similar and keep them sharp where you want to draw attention. I'm also pushing and pulling the contrast on the ground to keep the visual flow strong. Early on I hinted at the importance of matching design to mood. Now you've kind of seen it in action. The castle is a bit whimsical and its design fits perfectly with the cheerful lighting and colors. So you can definitely use all of these tools to your advantage when you're composing your image, when you're thinking about your mood, about your storytelling and all of that. Alright, now let's have a look at the final image. If you found this video helpful, make sure to check out this next one. It features a completely different environment, a dramatic stormy mountain scene, so have a look. Thanks so much for watching till the end, and I hope to see you in the next one coming soon.